November 1st, 2025, Game 7 of the World Series. The Blue Jays were 2 outs from a fairy tale ending until back-to-back historic Dodgers home runs shattered Toronto's dreams. Now, fans are accusing baseball's newest dynasty of rigging the championship. How did a night meant for legends ignite the most bitter scandal in years? Not celebration, but suspicion. The 2025 World Series began with a statement. Toronto's bats exploded in Game 1, pounding Los Angeles 11-4 at Rogers Center. The Dodgers answered in Game 2, riding efficient pitching and timely hits to a 5-1 win, evening the series before heading west. Game 3 in Los Angeles became an instant classic, stretching deep into the night and 18 innings. The Dodgers finally prevailed, 6-5, after nearly 6 hours of baseball. Toronto regrouped in Game 4, their lineup breaking through with a 6-2 victory to tie the series again. The Blue Jays' momentum carried into Game 5. On the road, their pitching shut down the Dodgers, and their offense delivered a convincing 6-1 win, putting Toronto 1 game from a championship. Back in Toronto for Game 6, the Dodgers faced elimination. They leaned on their pitching staff and a late rally, edging out the Blue Jays 3-1. That win forced a winner-take-all Game 7 at Rogers Center, a stage set in front of 50,000 Canadian fans hungry to witness history. Both teams had traded blows, each showing resilience and firepower. 6 games had produced 3 wins apiece, with no clear favorite. For the first time since the Yankees' run at the turn of the century, a team had the chance to repeat as champions. For Toronto, it was a shot to end a 32-year drought and bring a title home. The series was deadlocked, every inning magnifying the stakes, and every decision taking on added weight as the final game began. Miguel Rojas stood in against Shane Bieber, the Blue Jays just 2 outs from a championship. Rojas, who had struggled through the entire postseason, had yet to deliver a signature moment. The Rogers Center crowd swelled with anticipation, every pitch thick with history. Bieber worked ahead, mixing fastballs and sliders, pushing Rojas to the edge. Then, with the count full, Rojas unleashed a swing that sent the ball arcing toward left field. It carried, clearing the fence and silencing 50,000 voices in an instant. Toronto's lead vanished. According to ESPN, Rojas became only the 2nd player ever to hit a game-tying or go-ahead home run in the 9th inning or later of a winner-take-all World Series game. The stadium never fully recovered from that blow, but the Dodgers weren't finished. In the top of the 11th, Will Smith came to the plate with the score still tied. Smith had faced pressure before, but never with a championship hanging in the balance. On a 2-1 pitch, he turned on a fastball and launched it deep into the Toronto night. The ball sailed over the wall, giving Los Angeles a 5-4 lead. Smith's homer was the first extra inning, championship-winning home run in a winner-take-all World Series game. Another piece of history, delivered at the cruelest moment for Toronto. 2 swings, both at the brink of defeat, rewrote the ending that seemed certain just minutes before. For Blue Jays fans, the sense of shock was immediate and total. The game had slipped away in the space of 2 at-bats, leaving only questions and heartbreak in its wake. Controversy around Game 7 sharpened with each disputed call, none more so than the strike zone in the opening inning. Dodgers pitchers worked a lower edge that seemed to stretch beyond the usual boundaries. StatCast overlays, widely shared after the game, highlighted at least 3 pitches in the bottom outside quadrant, called strikes against Toronto batters, locations that, later in the game, went as balls when the Blue Jays were on the mound. Fans generated heat maps that showed a noticeably wider zone for Los Angeles, fueling debate about consistency from the first pitch. The 3rd inning brought one of the night's most scrutinized moments. A bang-bang play at first base saw a Dodgers runner ruled safe. Toronto challenged, and replay officials in New York reviewed multiple angles. Canadian broadcasts slowed the footage frame by frame, focusing on the runner's foot and the first baseman's glove. Despite apparent hesitation in the broadcast booth, the call stood. The replay center's decision log, later obtained by Sportsnet, confirmed that the available camera angles were inconclusive. Standard protocol dictated the original ruling would stand. But for Blue Jays fans, the lack of a definitive angle did little to settle the argument. In the fifth, a checked swing call against Toronto drew another wave of frustration. The Blue Jays batter pulled back on a borderline pitch, but the first base umpire ruled he had gone around. Slow motion clips circulated on TikTok, dissecting the bat's position relative to the plate. MLB's official explanation pointed to umpire discretion, but the replay left plenty of room for doubt. By the game's end, fans and analysts counted at least 8 to 10 calls, strike zone, replay, and checked swings that all favored the Dodgers, a pattern that would soon become the centerpiece of the statistical debate. Probability models spread like wildfire online, each one zeroing in on the same jarring number. Less than a 1% chance that every close call in Game 7 would land in the Dodgers' favor by random chance. Statisticians on Reddit and X ran binomial calculations, showing that with 8 to 10 disputed calls, the odds of that pattern happening naturally dropped below 0.4%. Monte Carlo simulations, posted by fan accounts and picked up by sports data sites, echoed the finding. No matter how the variables shifted, the outcome remained an outlier. The hashtag Rigged World Series exploded, climbing into the top trends on Twitter within hours. Over 1 million posts dissected heat maps, replay angles, and umpire accuracy rates. YouTube breakdowns of controversial calls racked up millions of views, while TikTok feeds filled with side-by-side pitch overlays and slow-motion checked swings. An online petition demanding an independent investigation crossed 250,000 signatures in just 2 days. The scale of skepticism dwarfed anything seen since the Houston Astros sign-stealing scandal. Fans drew direct comparisons, pointing to the 2017 cheating scheme, but this time, the Dodgers found themselves at the center of suspicion. The difference: in 2025, the tools for analysis and mobilization had evolved. Viral graphics, real-time data, and coordinated hashtags created a digital surge too big for the league to ignore. The controversy no longer lived only in highlight reels or barroom debates. It had become a numbers-driven movement, amplified by millions and demanding answers from the very top of baseball. Major League Baseball released its findings just days after the World Series. Commissioner Rob Manfred addressed the controversy head-on, stating the league had conducted a full technical audit of all communication systems used during Game 7. According to the league's cybersecurity team, PitchCom devices, responsible for relaying pitch selections, operated exclusively on encrypted radio frequencies, isolated from stadium Wi-Fi and cellular networks. Forensic analysis of network logs and device telemetry found no evidence of unauthorized transmissions or device tampering. Stadium network records showed only standard, authenticated connections, and no unexplained Bluetooth or Wi-Fi pairings occurred during high-leverage at-bats. MLB's statement concluded that all digital communications and replay systems functioned within league protocols, with no anomalies detected. The league stood by the integrity of the result, asserting that the outcome was decided on the field, not by outside interference. Dodgers manager Dave Roberts faced the questions head-on, calling the conspiracy theories disrespectful and insisting his team earned every win on the field. The organization echoed his stance, releasing a statement defending the integrity of their championship run and refusing to engage with speculation. Meanwhile, public backlash only intensified. The online petition demanding a full independent investigation into Game 7's officiating and outcome surged past 250,000 signatures in less than 3 days. Sports talk shows and editorial columns debated not just the game, but the system itself. Fans and commentators floated concrete proposals, chief among them, the immediate adoption of an automated strike zone to eliminate human error and perceived bias. The calls for reform grew louder, with prominent analysts and former players arguing that baseball's credibility now hung in the balance. The controversy was no longer just about one game, but the future of trust in the sport. On November 1st, 2025, the Dodgers secured a 5-4 victory in Game 7 at Rogers Center, becoming the first team since 2000 to win back-to-back World Series titles. Yet, this historic feat is now inseparable from controversy. Fan analysis identified at least 8 disputed calls, with statistical models showing less than a 1% likelihood that so many would favor one team by chance. Strike zone heat maps, viral clips, and millions of online impressions fueled unprecedented scrutiny. Despite these findings, Major League Baseball's official audit found no evidence of rule violations or unauthorized electronic transmission. The league stands by the result, while over 250,000 fans have signed petitions demanding further investigation. The facts remain. The Dodgers are champions, but many questions about officiating and transparency persist. As calls for automated strike zones and stricter oversight grow, the 2025 World Series stands as a pivotal moment, reminding baseball that a game's legacy depends not only on the score, but on the trust of its fans.